Good afternoon, good evening. It is Halloween, and I no longer have announcements to make before the show other than to say thank you to everyone who backed Empire of the Undying Sun. We are funded today. If you missed it, there's still the late backer option. Um, it will be around until we go to print sometime in the first half of next year. We'll see how that works out. So if you want to, go get that. But otherwise, nothing. And I probably won't be streaming next week because I'm very tired.
You get a week off? That's not fair.
That's right.
I want one of those.
But rounding out the spookiest month of the year, anchoring the month here, Peter Gilmore, artist extraordinaire, probably best known for his work on Jack the Ripper, Vampire Hunter, and the zombie superhero from Super Dead, and also many of the illustrations from Empire of the Undying Sun.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm absolutely everywhere. I'm the most prolific artist you've never heard of.
So, another thing people may not know you from is your own YouTube channel, where every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you like to talk about horror movies.
We do. We got Friday Night Frights. That's the show every Friday. We do go over horror news and stuff, play some silly games, and we kind of have a different subject each week. And we look into our kind of favorite movies. It's like 5 of us on the panel, so we tend to go through 5 movies and get away without getting copyright struck or anything. It's magic.
I was wondering about that as I'm watching in the audience sometimes. Like, if I put 2 seconds of some show made by Disney or something, I get copyright strikes. How do you manage to
don't actually play the movies or the clip? So we bring the movie up and then you just kind of scan through it. You just tap the little arrow key, and because it's not playing it, so you can pinpoint the scenes you want to talk about and all that kind of stuff. But having said that, we put when we do the news section at the start of the show, we'll look at trailers for stuff that's coming up. The amount of copyright claims I've gotten from companies for showing their trailer to promote their movie is ridiculous. Yeah.
That's the part I don't get is you're upset I'm showing more people your advertisement? Come on, guys.
Yeah, exactly. It baffles me. And it also makes me hate the movie. Even if it's something good, like movies I've been looking forward to, and then we'll talk about it on the show, and Saturday morning I'll wake up and I'll be an email from YouTube saying naughty.
So one thing that I've been thinking about recently is that especially since COVID, movies have changed. The movie experience has changed a lot. Where in the 80s we started to get movies on VCRs, so you could watch all these great horror flicks at home. You didn't have to go to the theaters anymore, but there was still a large theater presence, especially for opening night. You want to go see it, midnight showing and everything. But these days it feels like very few people go to the theater anymore. Like, it's more, first night it comes out on Netflix, first night it comes out on video on demand. So which do you think is the superior horror experience?
I personally, I like to watch stuff at home because I don't have 30, 40, 50 other people just being there and annoying me, distracting me. When you're trying to get into a movie and then some dude 2 seats over starts digging through a bag of whatever, or it's like, or someone suddenly a phone screen will light up.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. But then again, I don't know. Back in the day, it was just I suppose it was before cell phones and all that, and there wasn't streaming back then. But I remember seeing things like Return of the Living Dead and those movies in the theater when they came out, fantastic. And like Bram Stoker's Dracula and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you didn't have a choice then. It was either watch them in the theater or wait, a year, 6 months, a year for them to come out on.
Yeah.
Now things come out on streaming within weeks. It's crazy. It's like, what's the point?
Speaking of the cell phone, that reminds me, one time when I was living in China, I went to this movie and there was some girl there, some Chinese girl, and like she gets a phone call like 5 minutes after the movie starts, and she picks it up, and then she's like, yeah, okay, he just went into the house. No, he doesn't see anyone. There's no ghosts right now. And then like she kept narrating the movie for like the next 30 minutes. And everyone was giving her the eye, but she just kept on with it.
They're obviously a lot more polite there, because if that happened here or in the States, I'm pretty sure that would have been shut down pretty quick.
Afraid of starting public violence. That's what.
Yeah. It's kind of, I was going to say they're kind of a little bit more strict on public violence over there, but they kind of are everywhere. Public violence is a terrible thing. Well, they depend. No, that's a bizarre conversation. We're not going down that.
She deserved it, but so Cyrus says all those people shouting during the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know. That's kind of a different thing, though, right? Oh, let's see if Peter comes back. He is frozen. So while we're waiting for him, we'll bring up River of Blood. This is Peter's comic, which you can find on GoFundMy Comic, on Fund My Comic, not GoFundMy Comic, Fund My Comic. It is linked up in the top of the chat for anyone who's interested. Eventually, it will be down in the description when I get a chance to add it. So we're going to talk about this in a little bit once he comes back, if he comes back. I just blame it on janky UK internet. But this book looks amazing. So we'll get that there in a second. And we'll get here 1 second. And let's just see what happened here with Empire of the Undying Sun. Oh, 2 more late backers. That's great. So we ended up over our target of 15,000. I'm stoked for 206 backers, which is great because there were 44 in the original campaign. Brings us up to 250. So this guy, it takes Kickstarter about 2 weeks to release the funds, but I just gotta finish my list of art that needs to be done, and people will be working on that within 2 weeks. And I got the same thing with the other authors who are going to make stuff for me. So things should be humming along as soon as we hit the middle of November. Hopefully we'll get the writing on the campaign done, campaign guide done by the end of the year, send it off to the editor, get it all ready to put in the book by January, hopefully start getting art by then. And hopefully I can send it out to print sometime in the spring next year. And then everyone will get their stuff late spring, summer, hopefully. But so that's where we are with Empire. Just special thanks to everyone who backed. And actually, now that I'm looking, there we go. Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter which is also a book by Peter Gilmore and author Mandy Summers. You can find this over on stuntmencomics.com. They have this. Oh, very low on. There we go.
Whoa, that was crazy. Sorry about
that. No worries.
Went out completely. We've had really heavy rain and flooding and stuff today. Yeah. So they clearly decided a moment to knock all the internet and the power off and everything.
Yeah, that's all right. We just showed a quick preview for Jack the Ripper.
Oh,
while you were away. So people can go see that. And Bob Chester here says he backed the physical package of my Kickstarter. Says, unfortunately, it'll be the last thing I back this year because I really wanted to back Peter's River of Blood. So it sounds like you got one sale there.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. It's a crazy day because like I was saying before we went live, 3 books today, 3 books launched on crowdfunding, and they're all about the Wendigo. and there's no, I don't know how it happened. It's just a complete coincidence, but that's unusual. That's very strange.
Yeah, well, I mean, since we're here, why don't we talk about River of Blood a bit? So I guess my first question with River of Blood is, this is part 2?
This is part 1 of this story. So Patrick Quinlan does a series called Phenomenon.
Uh-huh.
Phenomenon. Yeah, okay. Phenomenon. Which is, if you scroll down, I think there's a collected version. Keep you next one.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So he's got that. That's like a collected version of all of those. And then as a spin-off, we started doing a book called Phenomenal Tales, which is kind of more horror leaning. So the first Phenomenal Tales was about it's called the Minotaur, but it's not the Minotaur from Greek mythology. It's something to do with the Russian Urals out in Russia, and and then this second of the Phenomenal Tales. So this is like Phenomenal Tales 2, River of Blood. Long title though, so we're just calling it River of Blood.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're all connected. It's all connected. It's all connected to his Phenomenon book, but some of it's a bit more not tenuous, but it'll all make sense eventually with the story. But this is a standalone story. You don't need to have read anything else. This is just a single standalone story about basically the Wendigo butchers and kills a Native American Braves village while he's out doing his, the spirit quest thing they do when they're going to prove they're a man. They go and live in the woods for like a month or whatever, and survive on their own with like a stick and a piece of leaf or whatever, and a bunch of magic mushrooms, because that usually seems to get involved, which is what that scene is there. That's him sat by the fire at night, out of his mind on hallucinogenics, and so he's heading back from that, and he kind of finds another one of his friends' camps, and there's just like bones and blood, and it's like, ooh, something's gone on here. And he starts heading back to the village. The village is in flames and it's all trashed, but he's still not quite sure if he's seen this or if it's part of the hallucination still. Basically, the Wendigos wreck the place, or as we call it, the Wetiko, which is the pronunciation in Algonquin.
Ooh.
I'm saying all this stuff and I'm just repeating the stuff that Patrick's told me. I'm sounding like an expert. Although I have seen Ravenous with Robert Carlyle, which is a great movie. And they do call it the Wetiko in that. The Native Americans call it the Wetiko. So I know.
Interesting.
That. I even know how to pronounce it, but I'm not going to do it because it sounds racist when I do it. So I'm not doing it. So basically he needs to figure out how to defeat the Wetiko, because it's, if you scroll up that page before there you go, that one. That's kind of when he's heading back to the village. One of his friends comes out to meet him and is like, kind of, run, hide, so they run and hide, and then there's like footsteps coming through the trees, and then next thing you know, he's been grabbed, and that's happened. That's happened. So our hero has to basically, he hears about stuff that's gone on before and whatever, and he travels down south to find someone who knows how to defeat it. So he goes and gets the knowledge, and then by the end of the story, he's back up there taking on the Wetiko. Whether he beats it or not, well, can you beat something like that? Can a man beat something like that? A supernatural creature? We'll see. We'll see. It might not have a happy ending. It's a horror book. It might have a horrible ending.
Yeah, when I saw the preview images for this, I thought it was great. And it's interesting to me. So you mentioned Algonquin Indians, which North Americans might be somewhat familiar with from school. They're like New York State, Ontario, Canada region. And it's interesting because, it really, for the time that the U.S. was kind of sort of a nation, they were only there for a short amount of time, really. They were only about a year, like 100 years or so from the colonial period up until, by the time you're at around the year 1800, they're pretty much all gone from the eastern parts of the U.S., and we only have Plains Indians left. Other than like, oh man, I'm just blanking on that movie, Last of the Mohicans. There's really not a whole lot of stories set in this time. So it's real interesting to see this scene, come out.
And it's kind of fun doing. I keep struggling. I keep wanting to say Wendigo and Wetiko, and we know it's the same thing, kind of. I think there are slight differences. I don't know. It's because it's all real. Obviously, it's not made up at all. No, it's all happened. But the kind of I've gone with for the look of it, it's kind of more based on the mythology and how they describe it. You see it in a lot of movies and other things where it's got the skull and the deer antlers and all that stuff going on. That was invented in the 1930s by a white man.
Interesting.
But so there's a book from 1910 called Wendigo by Algernon Blackwood, who is like in the same school as Lovecraft. Is one of those guys. Fantastic books. He's got a book called Wendigo. There's one called, oh my God, what's the other one? Really good one called? It's The Marshes or something like that. Anyway, check him out. Really good. But he did a book called The Wendigo. And then when that was back then, they used to serialize the books, so.
Yeah.
As they used to in the little pulp magazines or in newspapers or whatever. And then there was a collected version done in the 30s, and this one particular guy just drew the Wendigo and he gave it the skull with the antlers and all that. And that's where it comes from. All comes from that. This one artist doing a pulp magazine cover. So yeah, and all the other descriptions of it, it doesn't look anything like that. But you know, I went old school. So it's basically just a hungry, ravenous beast that can never get rid of the hunger in the pit of its stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So it just eats and consumes and eats, which sounds like man.
Absolutely.
If you're a hippie. Aren't we all the monsters, really?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you can imagine back in the day, like now, you're hungry, you just go to the supermarket, you just go get some fish and chips, something like that. But back in the day, even if you had a surplus of food, you still had to be relatively careful with it because, you could easily run out come winter, or if for whatever reason the animals weren't around as much. So stuff like that. And then going nuts and become a cannibal, that had to be a real fear that people experienced back then.
And it all gets explained away by the Wendigo.
Yeah.
It's not that people get hungry and eat each other because that's all the food there is. No, it's
not our people.
Evil spirit. No. It's an evil spirit. It's got to be an evil spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, and we're kind of doing the Wendigo as though it's not really it's not like a sentient creature. It's not evil in particular. Mm-hmm. It's like a shark. It just eats to survive. The only trouble is it's always hungry. So it goes from one thing to the next, and because dog's going crazy. I don't know if you can hear that. Hear the dogs yapping away in the background. So, and I'm trying to convey that, trying to convey the hunger and the actual creature itself, the design. Mm-hmm. This is going to sound really sick, but I kind of had to look up starving people just to see what they look like. The kind of, the cheekbones and the eyes and everything's just shrinking back. Then we get down south and we've got these guys. The big, huge guy there, that's one of the city car. Mm-hmm. Which is more mythology / it happened honest, really. Mm-hmm. They were a tribe of pale-skinned, red-haired giants that lived down. I mean, we've got it's set down in the Nevada region, which back then was. If you can find one of the landscape pictures, you'll see that back then it wasn't a desert. There you go. It wasn't a desert. There was trees and grass, and it was quite lush, apparently. Mm-hmm. Or so they say. So, I mean, we're talking like 1500s. So, not a lot of photographs, just more word of mouth. So,
there are still some areas that look like that. I just drove through there a few years ago. And, you can find some isolated valleys that's pretty much exactly what they look like. But stories are the whole area used to be a lot more lush back in the day.
Yeah. Which was fun because I'm trying to find, I was kind of hoping beyond hope that there was like an old photo or some kind of, even an etching or, a sketch of nothing, absolutely nothing. A lot of modern artists' impressions, which all kind of look like those, when you were younger and you get a book about dinosaurs and be an artist's impression of what the prehistoric world looked like. There's a lot of those kind of drawing. It's like, that doesn't look real to me. That looks like you're making stuff up there. That looks a bit strange. So I kind of had to look at Nevada and then try and I ended up kind of modeling it a little bit on the way Scotland looks, because that's kind of the same mountainous structures and whatever, but
interesting,
just lush. So, and it's Scotland, I've got lots of photos of Scotland that I've taken myself. So
much easier to get.
Yeah, lots of pretty landscapes in this and environments, and which more work for me, but the job's worth doing,
Yeah, but they look great though.
It's cool. I love stuff like that. And then I go and ruin it all by putting people in front of it, monsters, and just give me the trees. Which is like one of the covers we've got. So we're doing the standard book, which is just a story, and then we're doing a deluxe edition, which is so you'll get the comic. It's the comic, and then the back half of the book is all concept art and that kind of stuff, and so you'll get to see some of the concepts I've done for the different territories that we go to, and all these the giants. I've got a bunch of different ones of those. There's like the jailer, there's a priest, there's a king, and all the concepts for those, and then all the concepts for the Native Americans that are in the story.
Oh, very cool.
And tons for the Whitaker, the Wendigo. I went through so many designs for that thing.
So when you were doing this one, especially with all the backgrounds, was this all straight in on the computer, digital art, like Clip Studio, or did you start traditional with pen and ink?
I've kind of been. See, what I'll normally do is I'll do most of a book digital now, apart from key pages, like important pages where certain character gets killed or something cool happens, or it's a huge splash page or whatever. Because there was a bit of a time constraint getting it all done for the launch, so I just went digital. But I've kind of been over the last few years trying to get my digital and my traditional to like meld together, so you can't really tell which is which is nice. So this is what we're looking at now. This is all digital, completely digital.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is, I also sometimes so in an evening, I'll put a movie on, and I can't sit still, and so I've got a pad, and I'm like doodling away. So I'll think, I've got to draw this part of the comic tomorrow, so I'll doodle some pencils out, work it all out, figure it out. Oh, that looks cool, and then the next day I'll scan it and then just digitally go over it.
That makes a lot of sense.
But it's this is all digital as well. I ain't got time for real paint anymore. I haven't got the time or the space or sitting around for days while stuff dries,
Yeah, that's I like both, but I mean, when you have to get work done, you just can't get the speed from traditional media.
You've got to be a little bit more careful when you're doing traditional, so it's a lot slower because you haven't got that control and Z, that undo button.
Exactly, and layers,
Layer, yeah, exactly.
Somebody doesn't like that arm, you got to redraw the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, digital is a godsend for doing fixes and changes, and like I did one of the pages has got our hero and he's hunting a deer, and there's a close up of him holding the bow, and so I posted that on X, and someone in the replies said, "Yeah, the arrow's on the wrong side on the bow." I'm like, God damn it! But that was like a 30-second fix.
Yeah.
So, but if it had been traditional, it would have been a little bit more than a 30-second fix. It would have been irritating, but I'd have to do it because it was wrong.
Yeah, I saw that comment. I was like,
oh
no.
It's and I mean, one of the other things is because all the people in it are all created like from scratch in my head, and it's so when you first start drawing a book like this, it varies a lot, and they don't quite, the same guy on page 6 might not quite look like the guy you drew on page 1,
Yeah.
So then with digital, I can go back and I can like bring them all in line so they all look like the same dude, which is much easier because the further you get into it, the more used to drawing the guy or girl or whatever you are. So
yeah, and I mean there is one nice thing about people on Twitter or wherever mentioning that they found some mistake in the art, and the nice thing is you get to catch it before you go to print, and it's stuck there forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, to be honest, the thing with the bow, I might not have picked up on. Because I swear I've seen people stick the arrow on either side of the bow,
Yeah.
I've seen people hold both sideways, but the guy had a point. So, because I went back and I like, right, let's research this, and I'm looking at like Native American archers, and then I'm like, right, okay, now let's look at Native American archers back in the 1500s or the 1800s or whatever. Yeah, they all still did it that way. God damn it, I'll change it. I couldn't get away with well, actually.
Yeah, so that brings up another question. Since the Algonquin people have been gone, there's some tribes that were out west that were still active, even 100 years ago, and they still did a lot of traditional things. The Algonquin haven't been around for hundreds of years. So how hard was it to research, like clothing and activity?
There's very few bits and pieces online, very few indeed. So what happened was Patrick actually had to go to a library, a real library, and find like some old encyclopedias and books and stuff, and get scans of all photos of all the images and stuff, and then he sent them all to me, and it's like, oh, because this stuff just isn't online, weirdly, or you'll find sort of sketches and things like that people have taken as being factual, but it's just some dude randomly remembering what a thing looked like. It's like back in the day when Darwin was doing his big, sailing around the Galapagos Islands, all that, and some of the sketches that sailors did of creatures. It's like early drawings of rhinoceroses and you've got, they don't look like, it's like a unicorn and a dragon, and it's wrong,
Yeah.
Like early pictures of the dodo, like sketches of the dodo, look like velociraptors. It's very strange. So you can't necessarily rely on previous artists' impressions of things. Yeah. Kind of lucky as well with the main character in this book is he's actually kind of a fairly documented guy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to get this wrong, and Patrick Quinlan will shout at me for getting all this wrong, but he's known also as a character called Jack Fiddler, who's kind of, I suppose if you know your history, you'd know who he was. I don't know. I'd never heard of him before. Didn't get as far as the UK, that bit of history. But yeah, he was known as Jack Fiddler, and there are actually photos of him when he was like in his, I'm guessing 80s and 90s. Like some old dude, but he's very much wearing Western clothes.
Yeah.
He's got sort of a cavalry hat on and all that kind of stuff that he's been given, because I don't know his full story. I'm guessing he was some kind of scout, or he worked with the American military, or
Oh, that would make a lot of sense.
But it's really interesting story. And it sounds really complex, but it is at heart. It's a brutal horror story. It's horrific, some of the stuff that goes on, and I get to draw all kinds of nasty stuff, which is fantastic. Blood, guts, bones, which is what I do. Which is what I did with the Jack the Ripper books. It's
like colonial period slasher book, basically. Colonial version of Jason.
Yeah, except Jason's like 12 feet tall, 15 feet tall, and kind of magical. Although Jason, I don't know. I think they kind of made Jason a bit more supernatural as they went on.
Yeah, certainly by the end, Jason in space, like you just couldn't kill the guy no matter what.
Oh, dude, Jason in space. I hated that movie. I hated it with a passion. And now I love it. Now I think it's awesome because there's been so much crap that's come out.
I know, right?
From just in movies in general, there's so much junk. It's like, it's mindless entertainment. It's fantastic. And it looks, people always think it's like a cheap kind of straight to video thing, that Jason X in space. But they must have spent a fortune. When you watch it again now, it's like, that must have cost a fortune to make.
Yeah.
It's, Star Wars level.
So, as a guy who judges movies, it seems like most of what we think as like classic horror films came out like in the late 70s or in the 80s. Are there any more modern series that are worth
I mean, I think a lot of it kind of a lot of the really cool, interesting stuff kind of just they started doing sequels and sequels, and it eventually gets so watered down that it's crap. Like Hellraiser, take Hellraiser.
Yeah.
After maybe three, it starts getting a bit crazy, and then there's like what 9 movies. And it's all gibberish. It's all crap. The Terrifiers. That's quite a new one. That's what 2022 was it? That came out the first one. Got the fourth one out next year. That's good. Yeah, that's a good new franchise. Maybe one of the first characters that can stand alongside, Jason and Freddy, and he kind of fits in as very iconic. So we had Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers. Then there was a gap, and then you get Ghostface from Scream.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of nothing real. And they tried. There's a ton of movies about characters with weird names and stuff, and they're trying to make it. You can see that they're trying to make the next Jason or the next Freddy, and it doesn't work. And then just this weird little indie horror comes on, this Terrifier movie. And it takes off. People love it, and it's massive now. It's in Fortnite. Last week they added Art the Clown to Fortnite, which is, I don't do stuff like that. I hate the game. But if you're into it, and at the moment Jason's everywhere because they've just sorted out the licensing rights. So Jason has popped up on everything. Fortnite, Call of Duty. He's advertising cider. One of the latest bits of merch is a cheer pet.
Okay.
Jason's mask, but it's got this big green afro when it grows out. Weird. Because they're literally putting his name on everything because they can now.
That's interesting. So can they call the movies Friday the 13th again?
Oh, now this is where you're going to have to talk to the other guys on the show with me because they know all this stuff, and I can't remember the exact details of it. Basically, there's two guys. One owned the likeness of something, and one owned something else. And they wanted to go different ways, and the same thing happened with the zombie movies with George Romero. And John Russo. They split after Night of the Living Dead, and you got Romero's, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the, all that stuff, and then you got Return of the Living Dead on the other side, which apparently there's a new one on the way, but we'll see. They've been threatening to do a new Return of the Living Dead for like 4 years now. So
I don't know what they're going to do with it.
Well, there's actually 5. There's actually 5 Return of the Living Dead movies. The first 3 great. The 4th one and 5th one just awful, straight to DVD kind of trash. Return of the Living Dead in name only sort of thing. Awful, truly awful. Don't even, if you see them anywhere, just don't do it. I've warned you, don't do it. They're terrible.
Do you think zombie movies are played out, or is there still somewhere some people will find some place interesting to go with them?
I don't know where they can. I think it's all been done, really. Because you've got the zombie movies, and you've got they tried to change it to The Infected, call them The Infected. I don't know where it can go. I don't know. I think the best thing for zombie movies would be to not make any for the next several years. Then do one, see what happens.
Yeah, sometimes you got to let things rest.
Like it's like The Dead.
Personally, I'm hoping. I don't know if you ever saw the Warlock movies.
Oh, dude, we covered Warlock on one of the shows a couple of months ago.
I love that series.
Just fantastic. I mean, some of it's a little bit hokey pokey, kind of weird, and some of it's really dark.
Yeah,
it's like when he makes a potion so he can fly, but to fly, he has to kidnap a child and then melt the fat off a child. What? And it's all wrapped in this. It kind of feels like an 80s kind of fun horror kind of movie, but it's dark as hell underneath it all.
Yeah, that was that was a period when you could get funding to make horror movies because they all made money with video store rentals. But there were people who were actually trying, like smaller companies, didn't have much money, didn't have famous actors, but they had a little something extra in the script. Like they're like, oh, this is our one chance. We got to make it. And I feel like that has kind of disappeared.
It's gradually gone away. You occasionally do get stuff, but it's very, very rare. And the big thing at the moment is reviving all, like Scream. Scream 7 just dropped a trailer.
Oh, God. All right.
And what they did with Halloween, the Halloween Ends, that last 3 movies, Halloween Ends, Halloween Kills, or Kills then Ends. And then this new Scream kind of looks like it's going the same way because it's gone back to Neve Campbell's back in it, and it's her and her daughter. I'm like, isn't this the story of Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends? Yeah. We'll see.
Scream was always that one where, like, it was the first one I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think it was clever. It was clever. Wes Craven stuff. Yeah, great.
I think it was bad overall for the movie industry because then they're like, oh, we have to deconstruct all the horror movies, and we have to.
It's all got to be meta, and
like all these quips, like basically what ruined the Marvel movies. Too many jokes, not enough seriousness. Evil guys aren't really evil; they're just inept doofuses.
Oh, that annoys me. That really annoys. Can't we just have an evil? Which is why I love mentioning the Terrifier again. That's why I love that. He is just a soulless, evil piece of shit. But it's funny as well. He's kind of got that Freddy Krueger thing, but without the one-liners. Because it's all miming, and it's funny. He'll just do a little nod or a smile or And apparently, according to a recent survey or recent news article, if you enjoyed the Terrifier movies, there's something wrong with you, and you're probably a psychopath. Oh, so they're telling me.
That's what they said about the 80s.
D&D. Jeez, yeah. Evil. Satanic evil.
Well, that and wasn't Evil Dead 1 banned in the UK? It was like the Creepies or the Crawlies or something like that?
The Video Nasties. Yeah.
Video Nasties. That's what it was.
That's the one. Oh, there was a lot of movies that got banned. I mean, I saw them all still, but yeah, they got banned. It didn't stop most of us. We found a way. There's always a way. Which we didn't even have the internet then, so it was kind of a bit trickier. But a VHS cassette would turn up somewhere. Someone would get a copy somewhere, and then it would just be like, right,
bring it over.
Two VHSs, connect them up, record, play, and then there's 2 copies, and then it just spawns and spreads out. And by the time you're like the 10th person in the chain, it's really fuzzy and the tracking's awful. Tracking, there you go, kids. Look up tracking. Look up VHS tracking. The nightmare of being a child in the 80s.
Yeah, when all the bottom of the screen is distorted, looks like the letter J.
Yeah. Just fuzzy lines going. Yeah.
So, what's going on in Europe with horror right now? In the US, it's like not that horror's dead or anything like that, but it just feels like kids aren't really into it like they were in the 80s and 90s. Like, I mean, part of that was because there were so many great movies in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But it just, to me, it feels like, oh, no, we can't have someone stabbing, a woman or a minority or whatever. It's too much.
I don't know.
Movies are lame.
I think, there is that side to it, but I think mostly horror fans don't care about that, and horror movie makers don't care about that. I mean, people cry. One of the other cries is, "Oh, such and such, this movie, this franchise that we love, like Star Wars or whatever, it's gone woke. It's all gone woke." But I mean, I hate to say it, horror always has been. We've always been equal opportunity. Anyone can die. Anyone can die. Anyone can be the hero. We didn't care. More often than not, the hero of the story would be the final girl.
Yeah.
It'd be a woman would be the strongest surviving character. We don't care. We don't care. We got the best of everything. You could have a gay hero that won and no one cared. no one cared because it's all just about the movie and the horror and the story and it. Yeah, so it's never really been a problem, and there's not really a difference between Europe and the US. It's all because internet, so it's all the same now.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not, especially when it comes to movies. The only problem we do get is there was a tendency for a while in the last few years, a movie would come out in the States and it'd be like there's like a weird hybrid of it's an indie movie, but it's been pushed by a studio, big studio. So you'll get like a limited release in the US.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd have to wait. Like a movie you'd be able to watch it in November. We'd have to wait till February. That kind of started creeping in again. But again, because of the internet, it's like, I think they realize that if they do that, people will pirate it. Because otherwise the movie's spoiled within a week on social media, you know. So do you avoid social media or, you know, to avoid that stuff, or do you just pirate it? And it's kind of easier to do stuff, which it's irritating because if they just put stuff out at the same time, I don't think, and if the prices were sensible on these things, on like digital releases, and if theaters weren't so expensive to go to, I think piracy would, because I think most people would rather pay for something, to go and see something.
But, you know, that's the interesting thing, because most theaters are digital now. You know, they just download the film from Hollywood or wherever. Whereas, you know, when we were younger, the staggering the releases made sense because it was very expensive to print the film. And, you know, they'd finish in North America and then they get sent to Europe or Japan or wherever.
Well, I mean, the reels would literally go from theater to theater, the same reel. So you'd have to wait. You could be one town over and you've got to wait a week.
Yeah, exactly. But now, like, there's really no difference in cost to, you know, to not release it everywhere at the same time.
They always claim it's kind of like a licensing issue, but why?
Yeah, but
why not just stop doing deals with different companies and just put the damn movie out? It really annoys me. It's like a lot of the stuff with, like, because we look at the movies and whatever, and I said, you know, we skip through the movie so we don't get like a copyright claim. But even showing images of a movie in certain countries is enough to get a copyright claim. So sometimes on a Saturday morning, I'll wake up and it'll be like, oh, your video can't be viewed in Russia, Outer Bengal, you know, whatever, all these weird little countries where they've got a different person, a different company has distributed it in that country. It's very strange how all that happens. Why it's not just one company, I don't know. Surely all the big movie companies have branches everywhere. They must have, you know.
Yeah, well, okay. In big movie companies' defenses, a lot of Western companies or countries, there's not really heavy censorship. But like I know, for example, in even a relatively free country like South Korea, they have to have a certain number of Korean-made movies in the theater at the time. So it could be that your movie has to wait until another foreign movie leaves. So that makes sense. And if you're in China, God help you, because there's only like 10 foreign movies a year in the theaters. So,
I can imagine. And half of those are the Avengers.
And
heavily edited versions of the Avengers.
and like Disney cartoons, like Disney and Pixar cartoons. Somebody in the government loves those movies.
That's fair enough. I mean, you do get even in the West, there's like Australia and Germany are notoriously censorious with movies. So for the longest time, I've got a friend who lives over in Germany, and he came to stay for a couple of weeks one Christmas, and I showed him the first Terrifier movie. I'm like, oh, should we watch the Terrifier? He's like, yeah, great movie, love that. Watched it so many times, and I put it on, and there's a certain scene in it where a young lady basically gets cut in half with a saw, and that scene came on. He's like, what's this? I've never seen this before. Because it's not in the German version. It's all cut out. Very strange. I mean, okay, it's a little bit bloody and whatever. But then they also cut a scene where, do you remember the scene from Silence of the Lambs with the guy dancing in front of the... Yeah. Well, just that thing going on in the Terrifier as well. He basically skins a woman and dances around. And he's chasing this girl, but kind of mincing around, dressed in this woman's skin. All that was taken out of the German version as well. Which is, I don't know. It didn't look too bad, but I guess the idea of him wearing someone else's skin, don't know. Don't even know if Silence of the Lambs is banned over there or whatever. Strange country, very strange country. Germans are weird people. But I love them, especially if they buy comics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do remember in the 80s and 90s, American film companies would film extra sex scenes for movies and they would put them in all the European versions. And their thing was like, well, Europeans, they won't see a movie if there's not a sex scene. So, as an American teen, you'd always try to get the European release.
Mm-hmm. There's a kind of unwritten rule in horror. It's called the shower scene rule, where an audience because horror movies were traditionally kind of date night movies. You'd take a girl to a horror movie, so she'd cling to you. That's of course. But so a lot of stuff it wouldn't be that graphic. It'd just be scary or whatever. But to keep the dude's attention, you have to have at a certain point in the movie, there has to be what they call the shower scene. So basically a pair of boobs or a half naked woman. You've got to put them in certain places, and there's different rules for where they should be, but you have to have them in there just to maintain the male attention.
Yeah.
It's look it up, the shower scene rule.
Do you think we need that for comic books that are aimed at adults?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think you need. I think if it's well written and it's a good story, it doesn't really matter at all. Because you think about how many different kinds of comic books, and you start thinking about, and I hate to talk it because I'm not a fan of the manga. I'm not a massive fan of that. But there's mangas about dudes going fishing. There's mangas about all kinds. They're all popular over there, and I think if something's well written, people will read it over here as well. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to have hot naked women in your comic, but I don't. The first Jack the Ripper, there was a lot of that going on, but that's because it was about prostitutes being killed, but they weren't prostitutes; they were vampires. So there's a lot of hot naked vampire chicks going on in that. There's not. I don't think there's a single bit of it in the second part in Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter 2. No, I don't think there is. It's just the first one, the one that's got the vampiric whores. But it wasn't needed in the second one, so there's no point shoehorning it in, at all. It just didn't need it. And then we've got next year, we've got, I think there's 2 more Jack the Ripper books dropping next year.
Yeah,
I think there might be either 2 or there might be 4. We'll see.
I think Mandy had announced it. Or
she did. She went and announced it on me.
How is the series continuing? Is it still vampires? I could have sworn I saw Frankenstein in there.
So the series is changing. We're changing it from. It's not just Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter. That's just the first 2 books because it is literally just vampires. But there's more out there than just vampires. So we're moving into werewolves. The next story in particular is there's werewolves. There's the Wolfman, although he's not called the Wolfman because Universal own that, and I would never infringe on their copyright. The Frankenstein monster, he's in it. Which is that? No, that's not a spoiler, and that's not because she showed the cover off, and it's literally got Frankenstein monster on the front cover. So that's But there's more to it than just there's another bad guy in there. We've even got there's even elements of some creatures that you know from D&D and stuff creeping into it. But it's the idea of it going forward is we can just, for each story arc, we can just pick any monster we want and tell a story about that. So yeah, so this next book is Jack has moved on because it starts up in London in the first book, and then he goes to Paris in the second one, and he's off to Germany in the third one that's coming out. So it's the Black Forest in Germany, and burgomeisters and villagers with pitchforks and monster and all that kind of stuff. Although he's not monster, it's a proper Frankenstein. He's a smart guy, the proper Frankenstein's monster.
Nice.
He's a clever guy. He's a man of science and stuff. Which, I mean, Marvel ripped off. The Hulk was based on the Frankenstein monster. Cross between the Frankenstein monster and Jekyll and Hyde. So, and then some people kind of balked, when they made the Hulk smart. And the Hulk became like this.
They don't like those. Some people don't like those.
Yeah, some people don't. Yeah, but I mean, even that's literally making the Hulk even more like the Frankenstein monster. So they're getting even closer to the original inspiration by making him intelligent, because he's a pretty intelligent guy. Have you seen the new Frankenstein movie?
Del Toro's? Did that come out?
Yeah. And it's in theaters at the moment, and then next week it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, then next week I'm definitely going to watch it on Netflix.
There you go.
I'm not going to the theater for it.
If you don't want to hear me talking about it, then I've got to be good. I was going to talk about it tonight because I saw it. I went to see it, and a couple of the other guys on the show with me went to see it. But we've got to be good because most people won't see it until it comes out on Netflix. So
yeah, but people don't know Frankenstein by now. I mean, it's possibly the most famous horror book ever.
But are any of the movies actually anything like the book? That's the question you've got to ask yourself.
Well, that's true. That's very true.
Guillermo del Toro is a huge proponent. He loves Frankenstein. And he talked a big talk before the movie came out about how, it was an authentic story. But well, if you know the book, you watch the movie and tell me what you think. Okay. I'm keeping my mouth shut on this one.
Did you like it?
No.
Oh, interesting. I really love.
I tried.
I really love Del Toro's old work.
I do, yeah. I was so stoked by the trailer and hearing him talk about it and knew it was coming out. And the first chance I got, because I've been obviously working on getting stuff ready for this book launch, so I couldn't really take a night off to go to. But I managed to go last week. Was it last week? I think it was last week I went. I've lost track of days. And finally managed to go. And Guillermo, you asshat.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah,
it's when. Sorry, I know you. It's when, because he's written it, and it's when they deviate from stories that annoys me, and just add bits in and change things that change the entire character of the. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Carry on. I'm going to get into it too much there, and I'll ruin it for everyone.
So Bob Jester mentions the first 2 seasons of Penny Dreadful had an interesting take on Frankenstein's monster. I loved Penny Dreadful the first season. The second season was good. And then I don't know what the hell happened at the third season. I mean, I know it got canceled, but it's like, did you even try? No.
Yeah, no, they didn't. It was great. I'd loved it when it first came. I didn't miss it. And then, but that happens with a lot of series. Yeah. I liked. Do you remember True Blood?
I know what it is, but I wasn't living in the US when it was on, so I missed it.
Yeah, that same thing. I think maybe the first 3 seasons are great, and then they start bringing too much other stuff. It's like they're not sat. This sounds like me and the Jack the Ripper books. They're not satire with just vampires, so they have to bring werewolves into it, and then they have to bring this, that, and the other. And by the end of True Blood, it was about fairies. So,
okay,
yeah. it goes from this really cool vampire story to fairies and magical golden lands and no. So if you do watch True Blood, maybe you'll see where it starts veering into the ridiculous. So you'll know to just stop watching. It doesn't get better once it starts sliding. It doesn't get better. Just be happy with what you've seen, and then skip to the final episode to see what happens with the vampires.
All right. Yeah, I'll just pretend that there's only like 2
kind
seasons.
of the same as The Walking Dead. Great. Oh dear, what happened? Then go to season 11 and watch that one. They did one episode that was like a flashback to how Negan became Negan when he was with his wife and stuff. That's a good episode. All the rest of it is just gobbledygook gibberish.
Yeah, I have to say I didn't really like The Walking Dead. It had a lot of great potential, but those early seasons, just like budgetary reasons, it looked like they didn't have enough money to make most of it. So there's like one zombie in it, or there's, and I understand like people are supposed to be the real evil in the show or in the book, but you got to have some zombies in your zombie books. And there were many episodes that were just like people being dicks.
It kind of, I think with The Walking Dead, the appeal of it was that it was a story about people, but set to the backdrop of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And it was about the survivors. But the TV show went deeply wrong when it thought people cared more about the people and didn't care about the zombies. It's like, we do want the zombies. At least I need at least 2 or 3 really gory moments per episode. I don't want a whole episode about 2 people sat in a cabin talking about feelings.
Yeah, like I watched the first season was okay. It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second season when they got to that farmhouse, it was like, oh my God.
That's where it all starts going. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the whole we have to talk. Like, come on, it's a zombie apocalypse. Do you have to talk anymore? Just do stuff.
Just exactly, yeah. What's in the barn? Well, you can't look in the barn. Just open the fucking barn and kill all the zombies. But there might be a cure. No, there's not a cure. They're rotting. Half the face is missing. It's trying to eat you. Kill it. Madness. It's It stretches the suspension of disbelief a little bit too much for the sake of writers who don't really want to be writing The Walking Dead. They want to be writing some profound drama. It's like, don't.
Yeah, that's the big problem is like with I don't know where they're getting the modern copper writers, but you got the same problem like in the Marvel, everything Marvel, like nobody wants to be writing superheroes. Like like I don't know if you saw Daredevil, the last series on Disney.
Oh yeah, did I? That's the one that came out after that god awful She-Hulk thing, yeah.
Yes.
I did. I saw it. Yeah.
I mean, it had such potential, but then they decided, like, what this show about a blind guy who beats up people and is a lawyer. We need to have the main villain go to couples therapy. Like, not once, but multiple episodes.
You see, this is my big problem at the moment. There's a lot of writers are writing these series for Netflix or whatever, and there's a premise there for a show, but they've got to pad it out to so many episodes, and they all think they're writing the next great drama or the next blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it happened with. Did you watch Alien Earth? Did you see any of that?
I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's not great.
There's very rarely a xenomorph in there. There's a couple of other weird aliens, and xenomorph pops up from time to time. Usually you'll notice the pattern, and this happens with a lot of TV shows. The start of the episode, you'll get the thing that you're looking for. End of the episode, there'll be a bit of the thing you're looking for, and all in between is just
fluff,
gibberish, tedious crap. Yeah. There's one episode of Alien Earth that I loved, and it's like, I think it was episode 5. It's a flashback to how the aliens, the ship crashes on the planet, and it's basically a retelling of the first Alien movie. Basically, that's what it is, and that was really cool. Really enjoyed that. Xenomorph, chest bursters, all this shit going on. The rest of it is more about synths and corporations, and some weird half synth, half woman that can talk to xenomorphs, and she's got a pet xenomorph, and it's awful.
Yeah,
awful.
Just from the previews, it reminded me of I don't know if you ever saw the show Caprica.
The Battlestar Galactica thing.
The spin-off one, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it was like it was supposed to be about like how the whole first war happened, and then it was like, let's talk about teenage drama. Like, no, you have robots to murder people. Like, what do you need this stuff for? You know?
It's like you were saying with superhero movies. It's like the writers think it's too silly, too childish, and they need to. It's not even deconstructing it. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, what are they doing? Are they all looking for jobs? I mean, they've got a job at Netflix, right? Yeah. What are they looking for? Do they think they're going to make some epic opus movie, or you're not going to? You're a shitty Netflix writer.
Yeah, exactly. And you see the same thing with the newer Star Wars properties. Like you had, like Mandalorian was interesting when it first came out, and then it's like, oh, now let's make it about Bo-Katan, and let's bring in all these other, the Book of Boba Fett. It's like, why? Just guys,
just a fat whinging old, It's I don't understand the mentality of it all,
and the fact that they keep getting hired. That's the worst part.
Yeah, and they fail upwards. They got taken on one show and they're like putting a bigger property. It's like, stop it.
So Cyrus wants to know, what about Die Alone? I don't know Die Alone.
Die Alone. It sounds really familiar, and I probably should know it. Die Alone. Which one's that? Don't make me Google. No, I can't click Google because it spazzes the camera out for some reason. I'm not clicking Google. Die Alone. Die Alone. I've got my phone. Let's get my phone.
Here's this. Does this look familiar?
Is that Carrie-Anne Moss?
Oh, Frank Grillo. Oh, that's interesting.
This looks familiar.
2004 Canadian horror thriller. No, I haven't seen this one.
I might have done. I watch a lot of movies, though. I do watch. I'll watch 8 or 9 movies a week, and 2 weeks later, I can't remember what I've seen.
Yeah, that's a problem for me too.
Especially doing the show, it's like I've got to watch 5 movies a week for that. Even though it's movies I've seen before, I like to watch them again just to refresh, the memory. It's rare that we do cover anything that I've not seen before, because I just watch everything, because I'm an idiot.
Nice. Ooh. All right.
Nice. 23% funded. That's good. That's good.
That's good. I'll take credit for that.
No, absolutely.
So, getting back to River of Blood a little bit, how long will it be out? And is it a month or?
So the funding, I don't know, is it 2 months it's running for? Something like that. I don't know. I think it'll stay open until, because I'm still drawing it, obviously. Because got to make money to pay me to draw.
Sure.
Sort of thing. I ain't doing it for free. Much as I love Patrick, I ain't doing it for free. I'm hoping that the book will be finished. Well, it's kind of got to be finished, done and dusted. And I'm pretty good at timing things now. It'll all be done and dusted by January. So it should be shipping out January, I should think.
Oh, wow.
Because, I mean, this stuff even like a 48-page book can take, like, depending on what it is, can take 3 or 4 months to draw, 5 months to draw.
Yeah.
Some of the really detailed stuff can take a lot longer. but I've got faster. I've got a lot faster recently. And the way I'm doing this, because I've started doing it digitally, and I kind of like it now. The way I'm doing it is I don't even pencil the stuff out first. Mm-hmm. I do like a painting. I paint it digitally and then ink over the top of it.
Okay, that makes
sense. So it's kind of like penciling, but I'm also doing the colors at the same time. So mm-hmm. it's penciling. It's kind of like penciling, doing the penciling in color, and then I just ink over it, and it's like, ta-da! There you go. It's finished. Okay. So I don't have to screw around like spending another day coloring it and another.
Yeah.
I just kind of build it up as we go along with digital paints and whatnot. It's also easier to do it that way to get the lighting and stuff correct. Because lighting in scenes can be very mind-bending sometimes. It's like, well, that light's hitting there and it's hitting that and it's got to hit that and that down there. And,
yeah, it looks very cool.
It's relatively cool. I mean, something like that page there, the one with all the trees and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's a day and a half to do that, which sounds like, I don't know. Does that sound like a long time? It's not. That's pretty quick, I think. Maybe a day and I can get 2 pages done every 3 days, sort of thing. You know, if I'm working flat out on it. Which, as soon as we've got through this initial campaign launch, mm-hmm. Then I can like knuckle down and get back into the swing of it. And just during the launch, everything's a bit all over the place, and I have to be able to really concentrate on what I'm doing and without distractions. So I can't like start drawing in the morning and then I've got to do a live stream, I've got to do this, and then go back to drawing later. My brain doesn't work that way. Yeah. I have to just start and then
keep going.
Be able to just keep going.
I have that problem too. I made the mistake. Yeah. I was working on a cover for one of the adventure modules, and something came up, and then I came back and I was working on the inks, and I was like, now I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
I don't know how to get back into this.
It takes a minute to get your brain back into.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you'll come back to it and be like, oh no, I don't like that anymore, which is fatal. Because if you keep getting interrupted, then you could do that like 10 times on one thing. It's like,
no, keep starting over.
Leave me alone. Yeah, the phone goes off. I put some crappy TV show or whatever on in the background, something I've seen before that I don't have to think about. I'll put some music on, and then I'll resurface like 20 hours later. It's like, yay, I've done a page.
So Cyrus wants to know, do you do any of it live? Do you ever stream yourself working on it?
I used to, but to be honest, I think people would find it boring. Because I'll draw, and then because we've got 2 dogs as well, it's like I'll get distracted and I'll go and talk to the dogs for like half an hour, mess around with the dog. And you imagine that in the middle of the stream where there's nothing happening for half an hour.
Yeah.
Or someone will hit me up with a message and I'll be off doing something else. And I'm too, even though I say I like to get dialed in and work on it, it would be tediously boring. It really would. Plus if I'm that dialed in, I can't be looking at the chat and things like that. So I used to do it when I used to stream, because I used to stream with Mandy Summers a lot. Mm-hmm. So she'd do all that and I'd do all the drawing and stuff.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, live streaming stuff like that, it is just too distracting for me to get into my own head. And also, especially if there was a camera on my face, when I'm drawing faces, mm-hmm. if there's a certain expression on the face, you find yourself, as you're drawing it, you're like pulling weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be wonderful for everyone to see. That'd be great. My face contorted.
A lot of good thumbnails for the videos.
Thumbnails and people clipping stuff, and
Yeah. So River of Blood is live now. It doesn't say specifically. No end date. Oh, okay. So it's just going until it goes.
So it'll go and it'll just because there's no point closing it down while I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
So right up until we're ready to go to print, people will still be able to support it and whatever. Plus, it's kind of, things are tight for people. You've got to budget your money a bit more. And so if we keep it, like I say, it should be ready to go to print or going off to print January. So you've got from like now right through till after Christmas. And yeah,
maybe River of Blood would make a good Christmas gift for someone. You can back it for them to get delivered after.
Yeah, and then, like I say, well, it's got to be done January because I've got like another book to start then with someone else.
Yeah,
it's all go. It's all go. I think I'm literally, aside from doing like a few commissions here and there, which always got time for that. But aside from that, I'm kind of booked up because I get hit up by people all the time. Do you do interiors? Do you do like sequentials? Yeah, that's my job. That's what I do. Well, can you do? No, I'm booked up for like 2.5 years now. Sorry, on interiors, no, not happening. Can't do it. I've got this, and then I'm doing a guy called Tom Tuttle who does the Friday Night Fright show with me. He's got a book out called Seven Amens Before Sundown, which is a vampire western thing going on. So I'm doing. That's part of the series. So the first one is a vampire western. Then we advance in time. It's the second one is World War One.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm drawing the World War One book because you go with different people for the different styles. My western stuff isn't as good as the guy who's done it. He does western art, fantastic, beautiful. Having said that, River of Blood is kind of a western and it's awesome. So ignore what I'm saying. But cowboys and stuff, that guy's done that. And then when we get to the World War One bit, that's kind of my thing. Plus, I'm European and I'm not going to draw stupid stuff. I know Europe. That, and then I've got an anthology book coming out next year, like a horror anthology. That I'm working on with some people, and which is more your kind of Twilight Zone-y, kind of creep showy kind of thing, short stories, little really short stories with a freaky twist to them. And then we've got the Jack the Ripper books as well, the 2 new Jack the Ripper books.
Nice.
Which are dropping next year, which are already drawn, already done. So that's no work. That's just awesome.
Excellent.
I would say it's free money, but it's not because I've had to draw them still. I've already done it, but so there'll be more pre-order campaigns than funding.
So anybody who wants to check out River of Blood, they're pinned in the chat here on YouTube. There is a link, and there should be a link in the description. And when the Jack the Ripper books come out, are they going to be on Stuntman, or are they going
Stuntman? Yeah, Stuntman Comics. From what I gather, everything that I do with Mandy from now on, everything that Mandy does is going to be on Stuntman Comics because Indiegogo's gone crazy. They've changed all the rules and how it all works.
Yeah,
it's really confusing. Like when you finish a campaign, you used to be able to go into in demand, which is basically a storefront kind of thing.
Yeah,
but now when it ends, there's a 2-week gap before it can go into in demand, so you won't be able to get it for 2 weeks after it finishes. And
oh no, that's bad.
Which is weird. I don't understand that thinking at all. And they're also moving to the Kickstarter method where they don't take the money off you straight away. They take it. As far as I gather, it's all very confusing. We'll see what happens when someone. It's like someone tried to, on Indiegogo, you used to be able to run it for a campaign for 30 days and then extend it for another 30.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, John Mayland just did a book for 30 days and he couldn't for the life of him figure out how to extend it. So it just had to close after 30 days. I think he's emailed them and spoke to them to see if they can do anything, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It's all very confusing. So we're doing stuntmancomics.com. That's where we'll be funding everything.
That's better. Then you don't have to give Indiegogo a cut anyways. So
exactly,
more money for you guys.
Yeah. And we know how it all works because it's ours.
Yeah. people should check out River of Blood, Fun My Comic, Stuntman Comics. Keep an eye on them for the Jack the Ripper books, and then
they just see that there. There we go.
King of Horror
on X. Peter Gilmore Art. King of Horror, yeah. At Peter Gilmore Art. Just follow me on X or whatever, because I mean, if you're interested in River of Blood, I am going to be just as I work on pages, I'll be sharing all kinds of stuff. You get to see more of the art, you get to see the story unfolding, apart from obviously spoilers. So if there's sudden gap in pages not showing anything, you know something's happened.
And in about 40 minutes, Friday Night Frights comes on. And
it does
on your YouTube channel, so people should go check you out there.
Yeah, again at Peter Gilmore on YouTube, you'll find me there. Yeah, we've got loads of stuff planned for tonight. We've got some games. We've got, for the first time, I am like the StreamYard link for people to join. I'm going to drop it in a couple of DM groups. So we might get a few strange people coming in, a few people you might recognize. We've got some games. We've got some news. Just lots of screwing around, messing about. And we're also looking at the Halloween franchise. So Michael Myers is going to be getting the once over from the Friday Night Frights.
Nice. Yeah, and so after that is over, you can come watch me on the Dungeon Delvers channel. It is the last night of our annual Call of Cthulhu playthrough.
Dude, I wish I'd known. I would have hit you up and said, "Can I come and play?" Because I've not played Call of Cthulhu in so long, and I loved it. Really loved playing that game.
Yeah, it's a great game. This year we're actually in the 1980s. I will be playing a computer nerd who is pretty much insane by this point, from some kind of monster that is murdering people and putting their bodies in the water. But I do not recognize the bodies in the water. So we will see what happens.
Tell us about the bodies in the water. What do you know? You know something.
I don't know. I don't know who. I don't recognize the bodies in the water.
Is it me? No, you'd recognize me. Could be anyone.
That's right.
Could be you.
And the government, the men in black suits, are very happy. I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Oh,
that's all we know.
The plot thickens.
So yeah, so if you guys are into that, lots of good shows while you're avoiding the kids at the door. So check us out, and that is the end of a long horror month. So good night, everyone.
Bye.